And here we are, ready for another Step Above broadcast. Today is January 17th, 2022. Well, today I think we'll talk a little bit about weight, because at the first of the year, what does just about everybody talk about? I've got to lose weight this year. Well, I'm going to help you. And I can almost guarantee, if you follow what I give you in this next 10 minutes or so, you will lose weight. It's not going to be instantaneous, but you will lose weight over this year. In fact, if you follow my suggestions, I would say by May, you should be much happier with your weight. All right, so a study on weight. So everybody's concerned about it. Everybody wants to know how to do it. Let me tell you, 42% of the population of the United States, by government standards, is overweight. And about 4% of the overweight people have a medical reason for that, which means 4% of that 42%, about 1.6% of the people actually have a medical cause. That's not a lot of people, but there's a lot of weight out there. Some of the causes, let's see. Well, obesity, of course, you guys know, when you eat more calories than you burn up, it's got to go somewhere. Usually right about in the middle here. So fast food, high calorie beverages, stuff like that is not good for you. You already know that. You've been told that 60 zillion times. You're probably sick of hearing it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's a fact. Fast food and high calorie vegetables are not, high calorie beverages are not good for you. Vegetables are good for you anyway. And one of the causes in our society, most people have jobs that aren't really physically demanding. Some people do still have jobs that they get a lot of exercise on their job. And exercise is a funny kind of thing. A group of, they did a study, and they took a group of housekeepers at a hotel, and they asked them how much they exercised each day. You know what they said? I believe it was almost 100%. Said, oh, we don't have time for exercise. We're so tired when we get home. We don't feel like exercising. Well, so the researcher followed them around for a few days to see the stuff that they did. Do you know that those housekeepers burned more calories than the majority of people that's going to gyms burn? Yes, they did. The housekeepers just thought of it as work. Well, when you work, that's exercise. Some of those housekeepers were actually overweight because in their minds, they thought they didn't exercise and that they would gain weight. And they did. Man, this was eye-opening. When the researcher came back, a month or two later, I forgot the exact dates, he came back and they said, these are the facts, and laid out the facts of how many calories they were burning a day. He said, actually, you ladies, every one of you should all be pretty slender. You're burning more calories than these guys and girls that go to the gyms, you know, pumping iron and all this stuff. And they were astounded to find that out. So he said, I just want you to know, every day you're burning more calories in your normal job, and you're getting more exercise than these people paying to go to gyms for memberships. So he came back, I believe it was 90 days later, doing follow-up. Do you know every one of those ladies had lost a significant amount of weight once they realized that the physical exercise they did in their jobs was actually helping them stay healthy. So once they found that out, they switched on their mind and said, hey, you're doing all this exercise, you should be losing weight. And they did. And I don't mean a little weight. I mean significant weight. I don't have all the facts right here in front of me. But I read the article and I thought, that's astounding. People don't realize, what they eat, and they don't realize how much they exercise. It's just, when you have a diet that's high in calories, you don't have many fruits and vegetables, you got fast food that you're gobbling down all the time, yes, you're going to gain a lot of weight. So also, those of you that are drinkers out there, did you know, and I know you do, beer, that's why they call it a beer gut. Beer adds a lot of calories, and you're not getting much for it. Beer is made from a grain. Wine is made from a fruit. My son informed me that there's also beers that are made from fruit. I didn't know you could do that, but apparently you can. So get rid of your diet that has beer from grains, and if you have to have beer because it has a different taste than wine, get beer made from fruits. Much better for you. Anything just about made from grain is not really healthy for the body. And I love bread, so you have to watch the types of bread that you eat. There's breads you can make from almond flour, and boy, they were telling me a bunch of that stuff the other day. Anyhow, flour from trees and things like that from the nuts of trees that are actually healthy. Cost a bit more. Coconut flour, that was one of them they mentioned. It does cost more, but it's healthy for your body, and you're going to live a whole lot longer. All right. Social economic issues. There are places in our country that I didn't know existed. They're called food deserts. And I thought, food deserts, man, anybody in the United States can get food if you don't have a job. There's all sorts of places in just about every city where you can get food. That wasn't what they were talking about. Food deserts are parts of cities. Usually, it can be not just large cities, but medium and even some small town cities, where there's no grocery store or anything in the area that has fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh caught fish, fresh any kind of meats, or fresh kind of anything. Everything is prepackaged, and they're usually in areas that are depressed or high crime. I understand the high crime. However, there are ways, and there are people that are putting in place programs to have mobile units to go to these areas of the city without fresh fruits, vegetables, and meats and fish, and not going in there and gouging them because they're bringing fresh stuff, but they're going in there as a way to help the people in those areas eat better. I thought that was pretty cool to find out. And pregnancy, what happens during pregnancy? The lady gains weight. It's purely natural. That's normal. That's what's supposed to happen, so that the body stores the extra fat from the cravings that many women have, so that she will have energy and the baby will get sustenance to make a healthy baby and a healthy lady. So, guys, and I can't believe I'm saying this, there are a very small percentage of guys that after the baby's born, the husband is saying, you know, honey, you got a lot of extra weight, you know, you're looking fat. Well, duh. Are you kidding me? I can't believe it. I've heard him say it, so I can't deny what I heard with my own ears. What's a better thing to say is to help your wife with her weight loss that she wants to lose. She doesn't want to stay puffy. She wants to be slim and trim again. My wife, we had 4 children, and my wife, 6 weeks after each child, was back down to her normal weight, except for the last child, and she had an extra 5 to 8 pounds that just wouldn't go away, and she was really quite frustrated. So I said, well, let's look at what you're doing. She says, I don't know. I'm exercising. I eat right. I don't get it. And what it turned out to be, she did have a penchant for certain candies. So she was still eating those particular candies and things like she did when she was pregnant. And she said, but that's all I'm doing. And I said, well, it must be enough to keep that extra 5 to 8 pounds on. So just cut down. You don't eat as many, which she did. And it actually took her about 60 days more to lose back down to her before pregnancy weight. So she always kidded our youngest child, saying, you know, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have kept that extra 5 to 8 pounds on. But anyway, it's just a family joke. But anyhow, the fact was she still was eating this particular candy. And I understand. I like candy. So what we need to think about is also, let me hit on this one really quick. Smoking. Have you ever heard anyone say, oh, if I quit smoking, I'll gain weight? Baloney. Baloney. Do you know why you gain weight if you stop smoking? Because you start snacking. Because you want something for your hand and your mouth to do. Scientific fact. If you don't start snacking, you won't gain weight. But here's what my grandfather did. He had smoked for about 50, 60 years. And my grandfather's like 6'6". Muscular, well-built guy. He worked on the farm, I guess, just about his whole life. And he went to his doctor because he was kind of feeling out of sorts. And his doctor had been telling him for years, you know, Frank, you need to stop smoking. But that's about all he would say. Well, this time he went and they ran the tests and all the stuff. And he said, well, you're not going to be here in 6 months. And my grandfather said, do what? He said, you're not going to be here in 6 months. And how'd you come to that conclusion? He said, I ran all the tests. You've been smoking all these years. It's finally catching up to you. And you need to get your affairs in order. So my grandfather said, well, what am I going to do? And the doctor said, I don't really know. I don't think there's anything you can do. You could stop smoking. Maybe that'll give you another couple months. Well, my grandfather wasn't one to take things lying down, and if you said there wasn't nothing you could do, he was going to find a way to do it. So he went home, threw all his cigarettes in the trash can, went to the store, bought juicy fruit, double mint, and big red gum. Then every time he had a craving, that's what it is, a craving for a cigarette, he popped in a piece of gum. Guess what? Nope, he didn't gain weight. He still was his muscular self. And he lived another 15 years. Man. The doctor, I guess it must have been about 1.5 years later, because he didn't he didn't expect to see him anymore, but they came. My grandfather just came back for a checkup, and he said, I didn't expect to see you here. He said, hey, you know what? Stopped smoking, started chewing gum, and I feel better than I felt in decades. So if you do smoke, it is an addiction. It's a drug, and we all know that. But that was how my grandfather, who had smoked almost 60 years, got rid of that addiction, because he determined in his mind he's not going to be dying anytime soon, and he didn't. Lack of sleep or too much sleep will cause you to gain weight. Stress. Oh man, you get stressed out and you got to have that comfort food. Been there, done that. Weight gain and all. Man, it's not fun trying to get it off, but it finally did get off. So I weigh now what I weighed 48 years ago when I first got married. But there was a period in my life about 25 years ago when I had gained a substantial amount of weight, and didn't realize it until I saw myself on a Christmas video. Man, I said, that's it. That's not going to stay that way. And got the weight off. Took 9 months, but got the weight off and kept it off for the last 24 years. So take charge. Keep foremost in your mind that, you know, being overweight doesn't just hurt you, it hurts your family too. It also hurts your earning ability. I thought that was an interesting study I read 10, 15 years ago. The earning ability, it doesn't mean you have less ability or you have more. It just something about the weight, your energy level, how you appear to other people when you're talking to them, because your energy is not where it could be if it weren't for the weight. Be aware of what you're choosing to eat. Choose better items. Think about, why are you choosing to eat what you eat? That's a big one. Why are you choosing to eat? You're in a store and you think, man, those Twinkies really really look good. A better choice, if you like cheese, might be those cheese sticks, because cheese is good for you. Anyway, remember, happiness is a place between too little and too much. Balance. So check out my website. Check out my Patreon site, www.patreon.com/a-step-above, and become a gold member. And as a gold member, you'll get my weekly newsletter. You'll also get a free copy of every book I publish during the year, and I'll ship it to you for free also. So it's not a email book. It's a real physical book. And my books vary from fiction to nonfiction. Depends on what I'm writing or what I'm thinking about. I have two books right now I'm writing, and one is called My Plan, and it's just a journal to kind of keep you on track with where you're going in life. And the second book I'm writing is called Oiled Again, which is a sequel to my first fiction book, which was a hard-oiled mystery, available on smileamazon.com. Anyway, order my book. Check us out. Keep up with these broadcasts. Please check that you like this and subscribe, because of course I like subscribers, and I like to know you guys can give me feedback on things that you would like for me to discuss on these videos. Make it a fantastic week and enjoy each day.